This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Gun balls out in the lumberyard. Watching the Grunion crawl. Magi. Little kids got naked and had lots of sex. Don't even waste your gun.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 224. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, we got Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing, Kevin?
Pretty good.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. How are you?
Good.
What movie do we have you watch this week?
Apartment 143.
Apartment 143. Now, I had a really hard time picking out a movie for you this week because there's just not much coming out this weekend.
Okay.
So, the only one that I was able to find was a found footage horror movie from the director's name is Carl Torrens. He's the guy who directed the upcoming film Pet, which is coming out this weekend. So yeah, I had very little.
It's a reach.
Yeah,
Reach going on.
It's a little bit of a reach. I had a little because what's coming out this week? We have Jackie, and with Jackie, the guy that did Jackie, I think, is the guy who did he did No, is Pablo
Oh yeah.
Larraín, and like all his movies are good.
Yeah, or at least don't really lend themselves well to Ryan discussion.
Right, exactly. So I was really reaching. I was like, okay, well, there's this Apartment 143 found footage horror, has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh boy.
Let's go for it. So this came out in 2011. I have a synopsis here. A team of parapsychologists try to figure out a strange phenomenon occurring in an apartment building. Ryan, tell us a little bit about Apartment 143.
Well, Adam, there's not much in that.
Oh, great.
This is gonna be a quick episode.
There's enough, but there's not a whole lot.
Okay.
Because it's a late hour tournament. Basically, this guy wants his house test for paranormal activity, and he listed his, I think, 15-year-old daughter. I think she's somewhere around 15. And his son, who is somewhere around, I'm guessing. But anyway, this paranormal team comes to investigate this house because every now and then they hear stomping on the ceiling, and the apartment building they live in is not very habited, and no one lives above them, so they don't know how this happens. And sometimes the phone will ring, and somebody will pick it up, and no one will answer them, and they hang up, and it'll ring right back.
Ooh, spooky.
And the same with the front door. Sometimes there's a knock, and they open it, and there's no one there.
Oh my
And
Terrible.
really also, not too relevant to the story, one of the paranormal people is either dating or married to one of the other paranormal people, but the only effect it is there's one scene where the guy thrusts against the girl, and the girl just says, "Are you mad?" And that's it. Other than that, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And also, for some reason, the paranormal people have a dog that they take with them,
Oh.
and the dog also only plays a very small role.
Is it just to get killed?
No, the dog, like, there's one scene where they hold up the dog and, like, talk to it, and that's it. The dog can be Zelda, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, because my dog's name was Zelda.
Did it look like Adam's Zelda?
Sort of.
There's no way.
It was white and it had like brownish black spots, and I'm not sure what kind of dog it was, but it looked similar to her type of dog.
How spooky.
Yeah. The spookiest thing of all is that I actually saw this movie and I don't remember that at all.
That's because, like I said, they met to a dog like twice. And they show.
That kind of seems a little unprofessional, though. Like a team of parapsychologists show up with a dog.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Like when handicapped people have dogs still.
What? So what? It's like a service dog for one of them?
Can't think of the word. It's like giving them a personal sport.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like a what do they call them? Are they comfort dogs?
Comfort dogs?
Therapy dogs?
I can't think of the word.
Like the dogs that they take to nursing homes.
Yeah. So the dogs there to comfort the people that are experiencing the paranormal activities?
They're there to comfort the parapsychologists.
Yes. But
it's not.
anyway.
The dog's not there to like sniff out ghosts or thing.
No.
Ooh, a ghost sniffing dog. There's an idea for a movie.
That would be interesting.
React to ghosts, I think, don't they? Don't they react to ghosts?
Yeah, I mean that's
supposedly.
That's a little more sensitive. That would make sense to have a dog in there for that reason, not just to comfort people doing their fucking jobs.
Well,
I mean, if you need a dog to comfort you, get a different career. Jesus.
Yeah. You think you got to look at a different career path if that's the case. You got to take your dog with you to work just to get through it.
I'm sorry, but I'd be a little upset if I hired a team of parapsychologists and they show up with their dog and I'd be like, your dog's gonna stay with you the whole time?
I need it for support. I would lose all confidence in that team at that point.
Oh, sweet, this isn't gonna work.
So they set up the cameras all over this apartment. And eventually, at the beginning, they're told the wife in the story died of illness, sickness, but they later find out that she died in a car accident during what is called I can't think of that word, schizophrenic episode. So apparently she's real crazy. And you find out towards the end of the movie that all this is happening. They unprove that it's ghost and they sort of prove that the girl they call her a poltergeist, but she's normal. She's just a really big bitch. And she blames her dad for her mom dying.
Hold on. Let me pause you there. They call the daughter a poltergeist? That's not accurate. Because a poltergeist is a ghost. It's an invisible ghost.
So who's dead here?
The mom. The mom's dead.
The daughter's still alive.
Yeah.
But they're calling her the poltergeist? They're calling the daughter the poltergeist?
Correct.
Sweet Jesus, this team is just first they're bringing dogs. Amateurs. First they're bringing dogs. Second they're like, that's a fucking poltergeist. And the guy's like, nah, that's my living, breathing daughter. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's happening here?
Apparently she blames her father for mom dying, even if she doesn't know the real reason that she died. So she's angry at him the entire movie. Apparently she manifests her anger into calling on the phone or knocking on the door or stomping on the roof or doing other stuff. And at the end of the movie, she becomes possessed and she's up in the air, back, I don't know, backwards up in the air, floating. Bent back.
Mm-hmm. Like your typical kind of exorcist.
Yeah.
Body deforming.
Yes. So they go in the room to rescue her, and all of a sudden she becomes conscious, and she's still floating, and her dad struggles to touch her, and as soon as he grabs her hand, it's on. And they move to the house, and I guess they'll wrap her.
It This sounds so fucking boring.
Yeah, so what did you think of this one?
I hated it. I hated everything about it.
Was there anything remotely enjoyable about this?
The one actress was kind of attractive, but
That's it.
she was a shitty actress. They were all shitty actors.
Okay. So I just want to try and clear something up here. So I might be a little bit confused here. So everything just turns out to be the daughter
Well, okay.
throwing temper tantrums?
The daughter in the movie, when she was possessed, has the white eye thing.
Oh yeah.
So
Classic white eye.
The classic white eye.
Fucking classic white eye.
all this stuff goes down, and all the family moves down, and the paranormal people are gathering up all their equipment, and for some reason, the main guy is like, just leave the less camera there for the cops. They want to see everything that happened, so they all leave, and this camera is motion activated, and it pans up to the ceiling, and you see it looks like a ghost crawling at the camera, and then it fades black. Well, plays real loud noise and fades. There were a lot of jump scares.
Did any of them get you?
Maybe one or two, but then I knew what was happening because they just kept happening over and over and over. So after a while, I was like, what's the same thing over and over and over?
Yeah, you can kind of predict them after a while because they have that little stretch of like where it's kind of quiet.
Yeah, there's the musical fade, and it'll just be quiet for a few moments.
Yeah, and they draw it out. They'll draw it out for a little bit, and you're like, something's coming. Someone's gonna like shut a door.
Or they'll do like the fake the red herring jump scare where something jumps out, but it's non-threatening, like a cat in a cupboard or something,
Yeah.
and then you think it's over, and then the real jump scare happens right after.
Oh boy, watch out!
That's exactly what, like, at the end, the last camera is in the living room, and you see them walk out the door. There's no one left, and their voices everywhere. And all of a sudden, the camera pans up after being motionless for like a minute. Hands up, ghost, black screen.
So
Black screen credits.
Who's the ghost though?
Also, my question.
So
Because earlier in the movie, they said to a T that poltergeists aren't ghosts, and they're manifested, feelings manifested, and there's no real apparition stuff happening.
No, what? That sounds like complete bullshit.
It was very much a movie where you could easily tell they did what they had to, I guess. I don't know how to say that. Like, when things were happening, you know, it was very linear. Like, you know what happened from this, except for all the jargon. And that's what I confused you with.
all that fucking jargon.
The tagline for this is the first real ghost story.
Oh shit!
So this was the real deal.
This is straight up real.
I mean, what kind of tag? Like, come on, guys. Who are you fooling here? Seriously.
No, this is real. I gotta watch it now. This is a real fucking ghost story.
Anybody that sees this movie will immediately know that it's not real because of the poor acting.
I'm just still really confused. I don't like. There's ghosts, but there's also like the daughter gets possessed, but the daughter is
apparently they just
for like the stomping and the door knocking.
Yeah, apparently they just try to throw everything in this, and it just didn't work.
I'm assuming the ghost at the end on the ceiling is the mom, and they're basically saying, "Oh, we fooled you." It's the ghost all along.
I love it when a movie has a twist that undermines everything that happened in the entire movie. I love that. Where you reach the end of a movie and you're like, oh, it was all a metaphor for blah blah blah, and then something happens. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense now.
Yeah, and it's always fun because they're like, "Ooh, got you with twist," and it's like, "Nah, you just
ruined the whole movie by doing that.
You just negated everything. Like you just wasted my time. That's all you did. Like, good for you. You got me. You wasted my time for an hour and 20 minutes."
So
also, as I was watching this, that hour and 20 minutes, they very much stretch what the content of this. Like, there's long periods where there's no dialogue at all. There's nothing even happening. It's just, like I said, like, at the end, there's seriously probably a minute now where the camera just doesn't move. There's no sound. It just stays in one.
I was gonna say that seems to be a thing too in found footage. They kind of pad the runtime either by just having the camera run, or they'll just have like the camera doing like it kind of surveys, you know, and then they just click between the different cameras, and there's nothing fucking happening. Like if you were turning this into a movie and you're the person editing all this footage together, why would you be including this?
Well, it's all to build suspense. That's what their aim is, to build the suspense. So when the scare does happen, it's more intense. And I think Paranormal Activity was the one that really kind of started whole thing.
Yeah,
with
and that
long extended shots of nothing.
And see, that's the thing that made it so predictable, is that you would go through that cycle, you know, where you're like, I'm going to start this camera, and then we cut to this camera, and you're like, okay, we know that probably the fourth or fifth camera is where we're going to get hit with a jump scare. I mean,
but when Paranormal Activity came out, that was something relatively new. That was something that we hadn't seen a lot of before.
Yeah, but
it felt fresh in that movie.
But man, the people did.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Drove that straight into the ground.
Well, because you look at a movie like Paranormal Activity and you see that it's a movie that was made on a shoestring budget that made a ridiculous amount of money. So they're like, oh, well, we can do this. You know, these movies are easy to make. They cost nothing, and they make money. So why not? And in defense of the Paranormal Activity series, I didn't see the later ones when like they totally ran it into the ground, but I think it was part 3, the one where they used the oscillating fan.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
That was a cool, like they tried to keep it fresh. And I think by the 4th one, that was it. Like, game over.
Yeah, because I think there's like 12.
And
there's a lot of them.
Like, again, back to the ceiling thing. At the end of the movie, I knew there's a scare coming, but after like a minute, I was like, alright, but why waste my time? I know something's gonna happen, just make it happen.
Just do it already. Just get it over with.
Just fucking scare me, would you? God.
So, we reviewed this movie on the website, actually, back in May of 2012.
Wow.
Yeah, Todd reviewed this for us. He gave it a 3.5.
Ooh. Oh boy.
He did not like it, and around this time I saw it too. Now you got to remember, like 2012, that's when the found footage craze was just starting to pick up steam. So this was one of the kind of early ones to hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't make much of an impact for me because I literally remember nothing about this whatsoever.
And it's interesting too because this is written by Rodrigo Corte, the guy that did Buried.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I saw it.
More than likely. Man, this just sounds really boring.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of the reviews that I read say that there's just not a lot here. There's just the scares aren't really satisfying. There's just nothing. And that's another thing that these found footage, that's happened to these found footage movies, is that they're all the same. It's just, people going to a house and investigating this, or a family that's getting haunted in their home. And it's like, it's the same thing over and over and over again. That isn't to say that there aren't exceptions. But yeah, man, I'm glad that 2016, as shitty as 2016 was, I'm glad that there weren't that many found footage movies that came out. Let's talk about the director, shall we? So, Carls Torrens, I'm probably mispronouncing that. His first feature was Apartment 143. He did some short films before that. He did one of the segments in ABCs of Death. This says he was in ABCs of Death 2.5, so I don't know if that was one of the ones that didn't make it to the regular one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because they came out with a 2.5 of ABCs of Death where they included additional shorts for some of the letters.
Gotcha.
And that's pretty much it. He did Pet, which is we'll talk about in a second. Before we do that, any final thoughts on Apartment 143, Ryan?
No, it's about
What?
that angry teenager. You know, the entire movie that she has something to do with it, and then I guess it kind of turns out that she does. Even though I don't know why they moved, because if she was the problem, wouldn't follow wherever they moved to.
Yeah, if she's the cause of it, certainly.
I have no idea what's going on in this movie.
I don't think you need to know. I don't think they know what's going on in this movie.
Apparently, this is the second time they've moved, and this problem just follows them.
Well, if you've already moved twice, and it happens wherever you move, you need to start looking at the family.
Why wouldn't it occur to you that something is going on with the people around you, not just by chance? Oh.
Yeah, anyway.
Just sounds like an all-around waste of time.
It pretty much was. I'm glad it was only an hour 20.
Yeah, thankfully it sounds like it was not very long, so.
But it very much it did seem like more.
What was the real feel runtime? What did it feel like to you?
I was questioning my clock. I thought it was like maybe a half hour longer.
So you were thinking, surely this thing was an hour and 50 minutes. There was no way. Is my clock right? Does it need a new battery? Does it need to be wound? Something's happening here. I hear you.
Don't you just love it when that happens in a movie? Stuck in this time vortex.
Surely I've been watching this movie for the last 4.5 hours. Has to be. I'm pretty sure it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Then you check and it's like 6:20.
Yeah, I saw a movie like that this week.
Same here.
Oh, I know what movie you saw.
I swear to God, that movie was like 7 hours long.
It's funny. It's funny. We're recording this after the regular weekly show comes out, so by the time you're listening to this, we will have already talked about it. But that particular movie, I actually saw part of that this week too.
Did it?
And we'll get into it then. But yeah, it's wow.
That's a long movie. So long.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and give you your drum roll on this, Ryan. What do you give Apartment 143? Ooh, that's a 1 out of 10.
He shot that sucker off quick too.
Yeah, you knew. You knew what you were giving it. So, have you heard of this movie Pet? It's the next movie by this director.
No.
So
if it's by the same director, is it like, does it associate with this movie?
No, it's not a found footage or anything like that. It's just completely separate. I have a synopsis here. I'll just read it really quickly. A psychological thriller about a man who bumps into an old flame and subsequently becomes obsessed with her, leading him to hold her captive underneath an animal shelter where he works. But what will the victim have in store for her captor?
Oh shit, she's gonna turn tables.
Yeah, so it's I think people are comparing it to Hard Candy, so it's got a kind of a Hard Candy vibe.
Watch out.
I'll give it a look. It doesn't seem as bad as Apartment 143. It doesn't seem too bad.
What you're hoping.
No, that's what I always hope when I turn on a movie. I just hope I can get through it without wanting to claw my eyes out.
Is that every movie that you hit play, you're like...
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Damn.
So what do you think about this one, Ryan? Any interest?
Sounds kind of interesting. This guy just scarred me of this movie. So I'm associating his name with bullshit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's normal. It's a normal feeling to have when you see a really bad movie. You just want to avoid that director's next movie.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'll be giving this thing a look. It doesn't have a score on Rotten Tomatoes as of now, but it comes out on VOD this weekend, so might give it a look. I don't know. Any final thoughts, Ryan, on either of these movies?
No. There's a dog named Zelda.
Yeah.
That's probably the coolest part.
The dog.
And they show the dog for like a minute, so if you really just want to watch that 1 minute, you'll be good.
Oh, cool. So just scrub ahead until you hit the dog part, then turn it off.
Or it sounds like you could just like dog, just look at a bunch of images.
You just look at a bunch of dogs and pretend that the name is Zelda.
Also correct.
Or I could just, if you're really interested, I could send you pictures of my dog Zelda too if you want. Just send me an email, podcast@filmpulse.net. I'll send you over some pictures.
There you go. Perfect.
It's kind of a side note, but it just made me think of this since this is kind of a paranormal possession type movies. I started watching the Exorcist TV series. Ryan, have you been watching this?
No, not yet. I have not. DVR, but no,
Yeah, I wasn't interested because, normally these things don't work out. And I just was like, no, I love The Exorcist, but a TV show, and it's on Fox too, so it's like, it's not even on FX or HBO or anything. But I gave it a look last night, and it's really good. I was really surprised. Yeah, it's excellent. Gina Davis making a return. Yeah, Gina Davis come back. And the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Cameron.
Cameron?
I can't remember his name.
We were just talking about him too when we watched Carnage Park.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet, @filmpulsekevin, and @mylegsdon'twork. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/filmpulse, and consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
See you later.